Hey guys, welcome back to New Stuff TV, the untechnical tech channel. I'm your host, Antoine. Give me some silence and some sweet, sweet sounds of music, Richardson, because today we're gonna be checking out what I feel would be the best true wireless earbud and active noise cancellation headphone combination. And we're getting that from my good friends from Sony. Well, they're not actually friends of mine. They don't sponsor me at all, ever in life. Sony, I'm talking to you, man. Holla at your boy. Now, I know a lot of you guys are gonna come at me in the comments with your pitchforks and flaming tiki torches, but this right here is what I perceive to be one of the best, if not the best, all-around active noise cancellation sets that have been recently launched. I don't know what you got in your closet right now, but this is what I'm using, and I'm gonna tell you why I like it. And they are accompanied by these right here. This is the Sony WF-1000XM4. I really like these earbuds. At first, I freaking hated them, man. When I purchased these, I thought they were stupid expensive, weren't worth the money, and they hurt my ears and everything. But at some point, I came back to them and started listening to them, and I was like, man, these sound pretty good. They are definitely not the best earbuds I've ever heard in my life, by far, but they check all the boxes, man. They sound great. Just because they're not the best I've ever heard, that doesn't mean they don't sound great. Now, when we talk about a true wireless earbud and ANC headphone combination, it doesn't have to be the same brand. For me, it just happened to be because Sony just makes good stuff. It's crazy because, you know, everybody bags on Sony. You know, they're behind the curve and they do this, they don't do that, yada, yada, yada. But somehow Sony always keeps on winning. Even with their Bluetooth speakers, they're still selling and they're still good, provided you use them for what you're supposed to be using them for and not comparing them to everything else on the market. You know what I'm saying? But let's get back to these headphones and earbuds. Which one you want to talk about first? We'll get into the headphones first. And that means it's story time because I really do have an honest to God story to tell you about this combination right here. A few months ago, actually, yeah, it was end of September, I took a short trip to New York and I was thinking, what am I gonna bring? I need to travel on an airplane and I'm probably gonna be on some type of public transit or something like that or walking around, and I might need to sleep because I'm in a hotel. And in hotels, you usually have some loud ass AC that's running or, you know, people outside. So I needed a nice headphone earbud combo. So I just chose to take these out of all the other stuff that I own. When I got to the airport, that's when I pulled out the Sony WH-1000XM5s. I've already told you, man, these things are friggin' comfortable. I love wearing these things. It's just like putting two pillows on your ears and just there's music playing through the pillows. But let's just talk about the silence that you get out of these. As soon as you put these on your ears, not only are you greeted with all that comfort I just talked about, but it's just like somebody hit the mute button on the rest of the world and society. You are in there by yourself. And I actually took a phone call. My friend Sean called me while I was at the airport waiting on the plane to show up. And I started taking the phone call on these headphones. And lo and behold, he had no idea I was actually talking on some headphones. I was literally walking through the airport because I didn't want to just sit in one spot, and he had no idea. As a matter of fact, I actually went to the bathroom. So Sean, now you know that I was in the bathroom talking on the phone when I was listening to the Sony WH-1000XM5s. I went in there, washed my hands, walked out back into all that loudness of the airport. He was never the wiser. And the phone calls came out great because I did ask him, did you realize I had on headphones? He just didn't know I was in the bathroom. And he said, no, I thought you were on your headset. I said, yeah, man, I'm in the airport. I'm on my headphones here. So I continued the trip. I jump on the plane, you know, the people make their announcement, and then it's time to, when I'm on a plane, man, it doesn't matter if it's a 10-minute plane ride, I'm going to fall asleep. So what I did was I put on a movie. I forgot what it was. I put on a movie. There's no latency or anything. You get good movie quality sound coming out of these things. But shortly, I don't know, 10, 15 minutes later, I'm asleep. And I'm listening to some music at this point, and I don't hear any of that stuff. Well, okay, that's not true. You will hear voices. You will hear like high-pitched, loud tones coming through, but they're pushed away into the distance to where they don't bother you at all. It's like, I don't know, there could be a baby crying 3 seats away from you on an airplane, and it sounds like that baby is sitting out there on the wing. So it's not even bothering you. It's like you're not worried about shutting that baby up. You know what I'm saying? You just minding your own business inside of your own little world. So once that plane trip was over, wrap the headphones around my neck. And that's the thing that I don't like about them, is that they don't really fold up to be portable really. You have to put them in that big ass case that they give you. I did not take the case with me when I went on that trip because that case is bulky and I just wanted to take up less space as possible. I was trying to use one bag. So I just slid them in the top of my backpack and that's where they lived. But I did slide them around my neck and I walked through the airport, and that's when I got pulled my phone out to call my Uber. So these headphones actually went away for the rest of the trip until it was time for me to, oh no, they didn't go away for the rest of the trip. They did come out at night, but we'll talk about that in a moment. Now let's talk about these WF-1000XM4s because that's where they come in clutch next. So after my Uber showed up, I get in the car, you know, I'm talking to my Uber, just seeing the sights, man. He's driving me through New York and he tells me like we're going down some strip, and then he says, hey man, look to the right, there goes New Jersey. And I'm like, I'm from Texas. So when you look left and right, all you see is land and cattle. You know what I'm saying? When you're traveling through from city to city. It's not like New York where I was driving in the back of a car in New York City, and then I look to the right, I see a big ass lake or a river, and then you got New Jersey on the other side. So I was wowed by all that stuff. Okay, I've digressed. I really miss New York, guys. Anyways, I get to the hotel, I get all settled, and then I decided to step out on the town just to see what's up. I decided to go look for some pizza. And I just got out of the hotel and I started walking, popped in these earbuds along with my phone. I'm listening to music, but I got it at a pretty low volume because I still need to hear some stuff because I'm in New York and I ain't never been there before. I'm a Southern boy, you know what I'm saying? I need to know what's going on around me. So I put the earbuds in and then I let them do their job. I had on the GPS. So I got GPS commands going through my ears, but I also have music playing. It's a nice, you know, subtle music that allows me to still kind of hear some of my environment. And when I say hear some of my environment, that's where these earbuds come in clutch. As far as ambient sound goes, I didn't have to do a single thing with these. When I was walking, I had good active noise cancellation. It wasn't like at its most powerful because it knew I was traveling. That's the beauty of Sony's algorithms and app that they have set up in here. It just kind of takes control and manages the ANC and ambient sound for you. When I got to an intersection and I stopped moving, the earbuds knew I had stopped moving, and then they open up ambient sound, and now I can all of a sudden hear all of the traffic and the people and stuff because you don't want to get hit by one of them fast moving cars. Man, seriously, how do y'all drive in New York? Like, I don't understand how anyone owns a car driving through New York City. You are an elite driver if you drive in New York City without hitting anything. That's insane how you guys do that. I've digressed again. Back to the earbuds. So I'm walking through this pizza spot, getting my GPS directions, ambient sound is kicking on and off, and it's not really jarring at all. You can just kind of hear the world open up as you stop moving your feet for maybe 1 or 2 seconds. And then once you start moving again, the algorithm knows you're moving, and then it closes the world back off, but not too much because you still need to hear some stuff. I'm just floored by the fact that I never had to touch my earbuds at all. Even when I called a phone call, I'm just walking through the city. I didn't have to like say, you know, repeat myself or anything. People could hear me loud and clear. These were in their true element. So when we YouTubers, when we actually review or showcase earbuds and headphones, we're most of us are in a controlled environment. This is literally a studio. This is not my house. This is a studio with fixed lighting, and I have, you know, everything's in one spot. There's no noise. I got like sound dampening stuff in here. So when we listen to music in here and we tell you what things are like, yeah, it's in a controlled environment. It's not until you put these things in the real world. And I think even living in my suburban area, I didn't really put these to the test when I first started listening to them, because all I have in my environment are people mowing their lawns and maybe, you know, some traffic on the side of the road, you know, as I'm going somewhere. But in New York, as I'm walking around, being a part of the city and the community walking out there, I understand why these things were made the way they were. It's just hands off. You put them in your ears, you turn on some music, and then you just go, and they take care of the rest for you as far as tuning out or tuning in the rest of the world. And that takes us back to the Sony WH-1000XM5s. Now, like I said, I was in a hotel. This hotel was really, really nice. It was actually the Ink Hotel or Ink 48. That's a nice hotel, man. But I was on the 2nd floor, on the window, on the street side. So if you know where that place is, you know that being on the 1st or 2nd floor is bad news when it comes to noise. So when I went to bed, I just popped these bad boys on my ears, and it completely tuned out all that nonsense that was going on outside. By the way, New York does not go to sleep. I know, that's what people say. It's the city that never sleeps. Man, they wasn't lying, okay? Them mofos do not close their eyes. They outside all the time. This is ridiculous. You guys need to get some rest. Sorry, I digressed again. Now back to these headphones. So yeah, man, it just completely blocked out all that nonsense that was going outside on the first floor. Once again, I was on the second floor, but I still hear through those windows, like vehicles honking at each other and trucks moving and people talking loud. There wasn't no fights or nothing going on, but the people were talking to each other, celebrating life, and I could hear that crap through my window. So these headphones actually allowed me to get a great night of sleep. Now, when it comes to sleeping in these things, they are not the most comfortable to sleep in because they're kind of bulky on the sides, but I usually start out as a back sleeper, so that didn't really affect me because I'm just laying on my back and they just kind of lay there. But as soon as you turn on your side, you might have to adjust a little bit to compensate for these big old ear tip or ear cups right here. Now that I've covered my great night of sleep that I got with the XM5 headphones, I want to go back to how they move with you, like I talked about with the XM4 earbuds. I wasn't really paying attention when I first wore these on the beginning of the trip, but after noticing what the XM4s did to me in real time as I was moving through my day, I actually started paying attention to how these were moving with me as well. And when I say move with you, I just mean hands off. You don't have to touch them. You put them on your head and then you just do your day. What I mean by that is I got music playing, right? I usually keep my music playing barely at 50%, maybe 30, 40% or something like that, because I just don't want to damage my hearing like that. But then, even though I've got the music down low, the active noise canceling kicks on and I can't hear crap out there, okay? I'm walking through the airport. The whole airport is just happening around me. I don't hear none of that stuff, man. Stuff is going on in front of me and I'm like, there's no soundtrack for that, okay? And that's how good the active noise cancellation is on the XM5 headphones. But when I came to a complete stop or needed to look at something, the headphones knew what I was doing because the algorithms tell it, hey, this guy is stopping. We need to open up the environment and let some of that sound be pumped in. That's what's going on in here. And that's what I really appreciated about these as I was moving through the airport, because I already had a bag and a half. Well, I had a backpack and then like a handbag that I was moving with. So I ain't got time to be like tapping on the sides and, let my ambient sound come in as I press on buttons and stuff. Didn't have really, the bandwidth to be doing all that as I'm trying to hear stuff and go through this airport. I caught a phone call or two and that worked out great because now I definitely have the confidence that these work great for calls while you're on the go and in a real environment and not just one of these YouTube tests that you guys hear and criticize. They were just great for me and they did what I needed them to do without even asking for it. And that's why I like this setup as the best combo that you can have right now. Now, I'm no expert in this kind of stuff, but what I do know is I found the right setup for me, something I love to personally get down with. Now, let me know in the comments section what you get down with right now as far as your perfect combo between a true wireless set of earbuds and your active noise cancellation headphones. I would love to know what you're using right now. But either way, y'all get out of here. But before you do, make sure y'all keep being good to each other, and I'll see you when I see you.